simply cannot stop talking, and this time, his lies finally caught up to him. From twisting the history of Dipset to backtracking on old feuds, fans are finally calling him out for his constant exaggerations. People are fed up, the evidence is public, and Jim Jones's credibility is now hanging by a thread.
Who came up with that? You or Joel's?
The rock and roll look, that's my look. That's my look. Joel's is my little brother. I started the whole aesthetic. Wasn't nobody dressing like rock stars at all, nowhere near the game. It wasn't thinking about it. I created that whole style and implemented it into the hip hop culture. You dig? But yeah, I set the torch up for the rock star rap look. I've always been dressing like a white boy since high school. I've been wearing motorcycle jackets and like that since high school. I got a different style than most.
And I know Wayne, he started dressing like that.
Yeah, we gave it to Wayne. He came to Dipset school, was with us for a whole summer. He was with Wells for a whole summer. And naturally, his whole...
At this point, it feels like every time Jim Jones opens his mouth, he's digging himself into a deeper hole. The Harlem rapper, once seen as one of the most solid figures in New York hip-hop, is now being called out for contradicting his own stories, changing facts, and attempting to rewrite the history of Dipset. Fans are finally saying enough is enough. What's surprising is that Jim's been doing non-stop interviews trying to clean up his image, but every new statement he makes ends up backfiring harder than the last. It all started when Jim began making his podcast rounds again, claiming that he built Dipset from scratch. He suggested that without him, there would have been no movement, no fashion wave, and no global Harlem takeover. However, the internet moves fast, and fans immediately started pulling up old clips, interviews, and receipts that completely contradicted his claims. Videos quickly resurfaced of Cam'ron, explaining how he gave Jim his first real exposure and even funded the early Dipset moves. So when Jim declared, "I created Dipset," fans were quick to remind him, "Nah, bro, you joined Dipset."
Some comments about Nas, they got a lot of people coming at you, man. But as a New York rapper, I want to ask you, do you feel like you get your respect?
Yeah, I'll definitely get my respect as a New York rapper. My name is Capo. Don't let the motherfucking internet fool you, my brother. You heard? I'm from New York.
That's just one of the lies that has been causing his reputation to crumble. He has been telling different versions of the same story for years. Whether it's about how Dipset broke up, who fell out with whom, or who was responsible for their success, the details constantly change. The people who were actually there, like Cam'ron and Mace, keep exposing him. Just recently, Mace appeared on It Is What It Is and said, "Jim has been lying on my name for years." But now people see it for themselves. Fans reacted strongly to that because it's true. Jim has been caught rewriting narratives to make himself look like the boss. Even his old feuds don't line up anymore. He will say one thing about the Locks and their versus battle, then flip it a month later and claim he wasn't taking it seriously. He'll talk about Mace as if they've made peace, then shade him in the very next interview. It's like he can't decide if he wants to play the victim or the villain. The streets are tired of it too. Hip-hop fans used to respect Jim for his grind. He wasn't the best lyricist, but he was consistent. Now, that consistency has turned into delusion. Every few months, he pops up trying to defend himself, and instead of looking solid, he looks insecure. People are starting to realize that Jim's biggest enemy isn't Cam'ron, Mace, or Jadakiss. It's his own mouth.
Going around right now asking if it's Nas or Jim Jones.
What's the question?
Nas or Jim Jones?
I'm a Harlem nigga. Will never ever disrespect Nas, first and foremost. Jimmy, that's the bro. That's Uncle Jomo, but first and foremost, he need to sit his ass fuck.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones? Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
All right. Nas or Jim Jones?
Is that a serious question?
Yes, it is.
Nas, bro.
All right.
Jim Jones the clown.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come on. Is that a question?
Yo.
Is that a question?
Hey, yo.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come
though.
on.
I ain't say who.
Yo. Nas.
Nas for the
All right. Nas or Jim Jones?
Said Nas or Jim Jones? Oh, Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas, I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go.
Jim Jones, though.
Let's be real. Jim Jones's biggest downfall has always been his ego. Instead of letting his work speak for itself, he's constantly trying to control the narrative, and it's finally catching up to him. In one interview, he'll brag about holding Dipset together, and in the next, he's blaming everyone else for its downfall. When fans pointed out those contradictions online, Jim got defensive, claiming people were trying to twist his words. But the problem is, nobody is twisting anything. The man just can't keep his story straight. A big turning point came when Mace and Cam'ron launched their show, It Is What It Is. They started casually mentioning Dipset stories, and fans began connecting the dots, realizing Jim wasn't the solid leader he always claimed to be. Mace even stated, Jim talked like he was the general, but we all know who built the empire, and it wasn't him. That line alone broke the internet. Fans flooded social media, pulling up old videos where Jim called himself the Capo, suggesting he ran the crew. If that wasn't enough, Jim was caught in another lie just weeks later. In a new interview, he tried to claim he never had real beef with Jadakiss and Styles P, that the Versus battle was just friendly competition. But everyone remembers how upset he was afterward, doing interviews claiming Dipset didn't lose, even though the world saw them get clearly defeated live. Jadakiss even mocked him later on the radio, saying, "Don't rewrite history, bro, you know what happened." Fans laughed because it was true.
Being honest, right, and you looking back at your career, where will you rank yourself among New York rappers? Top 10, top 15, top 20?
Where did I rank myself? I don't care about top 10 ranks. I care about the money. You heard? And you talking about all these artists that came in after me. I came in after them, Rob, you heard? And I started as a hype man. And right now I am the hype man, as you can see all over the internet. Big difference, you heard? I'm talking about present day and what we're doing right now. I ain't worried about what's going on in the past. I don't worry about what you used to do or what you used to do. What can you do right now? You heard? And if you're not in it, you're not in it. You dig? But I'm in it wholeheartedly, and I wrap circles around anybody who beg to differ. Tell them meet me in the booth. That's all we got to talk about. There ain't no shot at no one in particular person, but yeah, you know what's up. I'm from that era, engagement era, you heard?
Then there's the ongoing situation with Mace. Jim has been trying to downplay their issues, acting like it was all love and a misunderstanding. But fans clearly remember when he went on aggressive rants, calling Mace a fake pastor and throwing shots about money. Now, suddenly, it's all love. People see right through this. He's clearly trying to clean up his image after years of reckless talk. Even his own fans are starting to check out. The comments under his recent interviews are brutal, with people saying things like, Jim has been lying for so long he forgot the truth, and he really thinks he can gaslight the whole culture. When the audience you built your career on stops believing you, that's when the game is over. It's not about hating on Jim, it's about accountability. He has been in this industry for over 2 decades. You would think by now he'd learn to just own his story. Instead, every time he tries to sound smarter than the truth, he ends up making himself look like the problem, and that's exactly why fans are done. The man who once represented Harlem's realness now comes off like he's living in a fantasy.
What would you say to the people that say when Dipset was at their peak and it mattered most, you wasn't a good rapper? It was all about Cam and Joel's. They was the best rappers in the group.
Who cares about that? What the f did you talk about? That's what I don't understand. That makes no sense. At Dipset peak, he wasn't where he at right now. Well, shit, I'm where I'm at right now. I got better. You heard? Most people have been in this game as long as I've been in the game and not here anymore. At all. They way gone. They can't compete. Not on this level. At all. I can compete at the top level right now. Period. Against anybody. Especially from my era group. I spank they boots. I don't care who you put in the booth with me. And I got the money to back it. Right now, tonight. That's the difference. Don't play no games. Tell them bring 100 tonight. Whoever it is. They're not gonna come, bro. They know I'm vicious. I'm not one to play with when it comes to doing music at all.
The saddest part of all this is that Jim Jones could have gone down as an unquestioned Harlem legend. He had the longevity, the energy, and the hustle, everything. But over time, that hunger for validation started eating away at his authenticity. Instead of being proud of his lane, he constantly wanted to be seen as the mastermind. The problem is, the people who were there, like Cam'ron, Mace, and even industry veterans like Fat Joe, keep reminding everyone who really put in the work. Let's talk about those it is what it is moments for a second. Massa and Cam'ron have this running joke where they casually poke fun at Jim every few episodes. It's never malicious, just factual. They call him out for switching narratives, and fans love it because they know it's true. When Mace said, "Jim's like that dude who copies your homework but still gets it wrong," the internet exploded. It was funny, but it was also real, because every time Jim tries to insert himself into conversations about Dipset history, it feels forced. And it's not just old feuds. Jim has been trying to act like he's the face of Harlem rap right now, talking about how he influenced newer artists. But the truth is, the young generation isn't checking for him like that. They respect his past, but they aren't quoting him. When you have artists like A Boogie with Da Hoodie, Fivio Foreign, and Dave East carrying the modern Harlem sound, Jim looks out of touch trying to keep up. Instead of evolving gracefully, he keeps chasing moments, viral interviews, fake controversies, whatever keeps him trending for a week.
I mean, and keep in mind that what I'm doing is for my era of music. You heard? It's a blessing that I'm still here and I'm still being able to be appreciated by the youth and the younger generation coming up. That's a super blessing right there. But when it comes to the people of my era, I want smoke. You dig? Whether they're active or inactive, I'm telling them, I want smoke. You heard? Don't care about no legendary status, none of that type of shit. None of that shit works on the street, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? Who want that? Let's talk about that right now. Who want to meet me in the booth? You heard? You ain't even gotta come to the same studio. Let's be in the same building. You take A room, I take the B room. You heard? Just to make everybody feel comfortable, but I want smoke in the booth.
He even tried to come at Pusha T last year, calling him overrated and saying he doesn't have hits for New York. But fans instantly flipped the narrative back on him, reminding him how Pusha T dismantled Drake, something Jim could never do to anyone. It quickly turned into another internet roast session, with people saying Jim just picks fights to stay relevant. And they are not wrong. Jim's whole brand used to be built on loyalty and Harlem pride. Now, it's built on excuses and contradictions. Every time he tries to clap back at critics, it just confirms what everyone already knows. He can't take accountability, and that's why fans are walking away. Realness is rare in this game, and Jim has lost touch with his own roots, trying to protect a fake image.
I mean, if we're looking at the rappers from your era, it's not many left that's rapping at a high level.
All right, well, then it.
Jada, he's still here. He still got something left in the tank.
Jada,
Fab,
nice.
He's still spitting.
Fab is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's absolutely dumb nice. Like on another level. Niggas really listen to Fab music, that nigga go crazy. Like that nigga is, from a New York standpoint, shit like that. Like you dig? So every place have their own music, you heard? I'm just coming from a New York standpoint, a tri-state area standpoint. We got our own thing and our own bop out here that we all appreciate and shit like that, you know what I mean? So we appreciate our New York rappers because there's a certain sound, it's just that.
At this point, the writing's on the wall. Jim Jones is losing the one thing that made him who he was, the people's respect. He still tries to move like the capo of Harlem, but when your stories don't line up and your peers keep exposing the truth, the title means nothing anymore. Even his recent attempts to play peacemaker between Dipset members fell flat because nobody trusts his version of events. It's like he's talking just to talk. No one is taking him seriously anymore. You can see it in the online reactions too. Fans who once cheered for him are now calling him out in real time. Clips from his interviews get reposted with captions like, "This man lying again," or "Didn't he say something different last month?" He has become his own meme, not because people hate him, but because he refuses to stop spinning stories that nobody believes.
Feeling that, you know what I mean, that we get from certain rappers and things like that. And Fab is one of them, Jada is one of them, Fat Joe is one of them. Whenever Jay be jumping back out, he one of them, like you dig, like. But some of these people lost their rhythm and they cadence, you dig? Like they still stuck where they was at, you heard? And people be getting confused, like you dig? I ain't even gonna get into it. But like I said, I want smoke. Only way to shut me up is to shut me up. Show me I'm bugging.
You think you can go bar for bar with Jada, Fab, or Jay-Z?
I go to bar with anyone. With anyone. You heard? There ain't no beating around the bush. I've been saying it, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? That's the only way to settle this one. We all can put out dope freestyles. We all can put out dope music. I want smoke in the booth.
And the sad part is, it didn't have to be like this. Jim Jones had an opportunity to evolve into a respected elder statesman in hip-hop, the type of guy who gives wisdom, helps the youth, and uplifts Harlem. Instead, he chose to double down on the same ego-driven behavior that has been haunting him since the Dipset days. You simply can't demand respect while rewriting your own past. The streets remember too much. Even Cam'ron, who has been cool lately, threw a subtle jab on air saying, "Some people have been lying so long they think it's the truth." The fans knew exactly who he meant. And when Mace laughed and said, "That's capo behavior," it was over. That clip spread like wildfire because everybody knew Jim Jones got exposed again, live on their own platform.
Meet me there. You heard? Like the Thriller in Manila. Let's sell it that way. See how Beasley and Baby Bro just did the one-on-one? You heard? See how Beasley and Lance did? That's what I want. You heard? I want the one-up. I want smoke. I don't care about rankings, bro. I want smoke. I want smoke and I want money. You heard? A ranking never gave me $1 at all. When the ranking come with a check, then I'll be pressed about the ranking. But none of that shit come with a check.
At this point, it's not even about feuds anymore. It's about legacy. Jim's career is proof that you can't fake realness. The same Harlem that once lifted him up is now looking at him sideways, wondering when he will finally just keep it 100. So, fans are officially done with Jim Jones. They've seen the lies, the backpedaling, the contradictions, and the fake tough talk. What's left now is a man who built his name on loyalty but lost it all to pride. Because in hip-hop, you can rebuild a career, but once you lose credibility, that's game over.